In a very definitive way, it's kinda like they are in the moment and they actually mean what they say. It's repeated patterns over time that will show you what is really going on. You are supply. Through their disordered lens you caught their attention, they are infatuated. The kicker comes when you see a pattern of broken promises and plans or goals where the goalpost keeps shifting. When the pattern becomes noticeable, it'll tell you what's happening. You are being devalued, they are bored, they are putting energy now into hunting new supply or back to old supply, they are purposefully leading you on because they love the control, they love seeing you pine after them, they love that they have you on a string, they know you are secure when you don't dismiss their mistreatment, they may come back later for a supply fill-up, so they keep everything vague and kick that bucket down the road with lies, omissions, half-truths, excuses and lies. The goal for future faking is not if they do or don't believe in their own tricks. Variations of truth or lies are aimed at making sure you bought into their narratives. If you pass the litmus test, they can go deeper into duplicity and concealing their tracks because you didn't say FCK off. Your wants, needs, desires, passions, goals will always be that, yours. With a true NPD you are not on equal footing and you are a pawn for their impulsivity and instant gratification. They aren't with you to help you obtain your goals and dreams. If it makes you happy that you two are going to take that train trip across Europe, then boom, the narcissist got a jolt of supply knowing they appeared to put some effort into the relationship, job promotion or family gathering, whatever it is you cherish. That old can will be kicked down the road right until into the 11th hour. It really is an act of slow violence. It is the narcissist appearing to give you what you want but only breadcrumbs. Kinda like keeping you sedated while they deploy the cluster B bullshittery around you. Usually added with gaslighting and cognitive dissonance. It's like a witch's cauldron, boiling little pinch of this bullshittery and a teaspoon of that bullshittery, and while the pot appears to be blending and marinating, that brew combined is becoming more poisonous. Truth to a NPD means nothing. They use future faking as slow violence, meaning more is coming, more is on the way. It's stealthy and sly and slow, but inevitably prepare for the dine and dash or hit and run. These guys and gals rapid cycle and can be transparent. The end goal is always the same even if you are oblivious to it. The final climax is underway, either you figure it out first and leave or they discard you for the next bright and shiny object. Trust me, if you are engaging with this stuff after you strip them away from these tactics, underneath the mask and smoke you will find they have very little if anything substantively to offer you. You fell in love with a bag of Doritos. You open it up with the shiny packaging and you found it is mainly full of air. The chip company charges you more for less product and in the end you're consuming pure shit that has no nutrients. Doritos is like eating a bag of pure harmful chemicals. I think any pathological, or even habitual liar, starts to believe their own lies. It certainly is an element of what makes liars good at lying. It is definitely easier to convince someone of something if you believe it wholeheartedly yourself. And it goes for anyone. Think back to your childhood, for example. There is a point at which we just do not remember anything before a certain age. Yet I can remember details from my second birthday party. **** In reality, I don't remember anything firsthand from my second birthday party. What I do remember is the stories that my parents each told me about my second birthday party, and after hearing these vastly different stories so many times over the years, my mind kind of created its own memory, or false memory, which is somewhere in the middle of the very opposite stories that each of my parents always told me about that party over the years. The power of suggestion comes into play here. To bring it back around in direct relation to narcissists, part of the disorder involves fantasies. They tend to fantasize frequently about status, relationships, wealth, etc. So, yes, I do think that narcissists can, and do believe in the future trips they go on. But just because a narcissist told you that he wants to marry you and have children, doesn't mean he is always going to feel that way about you, or that he ever did. It is most likely something that he says that is part of his future fantasy, and has probably had positive outcomes in the past with saying things like this to women.